When did you guys decide, or did you decide to shift the focus from you two to the actual team, the actual club?
From the outset.
Day one,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a sure thing to be mainly because and it wasn't because we were being falsely modest or anything. The thing that is so compelling about this town is its inhabitants and people. I mean, and their relationship to this club, and how so many of their benchmark moments, hopes, dreams, and feelings are that corollary between that and the club is just unbelievable. So, and also the stories are just falling off the trees out there. I mean, it's incredible to walk around, talk to people. You can't believe the kind of character they have. It's really something.
And we knew that that would maybe draw people, that we would be able to draw people to at least attention to come and watch the first episode, but that it really would get old very quickly just
Yeah.
watching the two of us bumble around, and ultimately those weren't the stories we wanted to tell. We wanted to tell the stories that we believe as a sports fan, that most sports fans don't understand, is that actually sports are not about triumph. They're actually about loss and despair, and because that's the vast majority of what being a fan is. And how do you overcome adversity? And if you can transcend sport and talk about that as people are going through cancer or going through difficult mental issues in their lives, or literally just trying to get through the day on a basic wage, through as the cost of living is being raised, we thought that would be a much more compelling show.
That and a fish out of water is really a C plot. You know, how are you going to continue? You can't. Sustainability isn't there with that sort of mindset. So yeah, it was a no-brainer.
Well, also, we look at sports movies like Bull Durham or Hoosiers, and they're not really sports movies. It's about relationships. And trying to capture those relationships is why we invest. Like, I want to invest in somebody that I would never invest in. And that's what you guys were able to capture. Like, there was a Leeds United documentary. I watched it. Sunderland Till I Die. I watched it. I'm like, I don't even care, but I cared so damn much about it. And that's like you guys go from scripted. This is non-scripted. How much do you can you control anything, or do you want to control anything with that?
That one thing I could speak to that is that, you know, Wrexham is it's a town in North Wales, but it's also a town in Pennsylvania. It's a town in Saskatchewan, Canada. It's Australia. It's Brazil. It's everywhere. I mean, there's working class people see themselves in that, and that story to me is quite evergreen. But you know, the thing that I probably, you know, will never ever forget is that first step, that first time we went to Wrexham, because what I think the thing that's most insane about the story is we couldn't go there because it was the apex of the pandemic. We couldn't actually go there, so we had sort of assumed stewardship of this club before ever, you know, touching a blade of grass in the race course, which is just, you know, this is the most financially irresponsible endeavor you would ever possibly find. It's just absolute idiocy on paper. But, you know, we don't know that much about financial investment necessarily, but what we do love, and something we've loved in our whole adult lives, is emotional investment. And emotional investment can kind of create that moat around something. And I feel like that moat is around Wrexham, and it is special for that reason. So
have you guys?
People ask me all the time too, like, well, what are my favorite sports documentaries, and like, what are the biggest influences in making the show? And then I'll say it's actually not a documentary, and then they'll say, oh, it's got to be Rocky, because we make a lot of Rocky references, and clearly there's a lot of Rocky in my life and a lot of Rocky in the story. But the truth of the matter is that the movie that has been the most influential, and the one that I want the show to feel most like, is Field of Dreams,
which is not a movie about baseball.
Yeah,
of course not.
Like, it's, you know,
of course not. It's it's about a father and a son, and that is exactly the story that we want to tell.
Almost every movie I've ever produced, I've stolen the score from Field of Dreams, and that's been our temp score for the whole thing. And I realized the last couple of years that it's just cheating. Nothing will ever live up to it, so stop doing it. So I don't